Aspires in Magic. Rise of Spider-Man. Maximus Reborn. Chapter 15. Acceptance. Early rays of light filtered through the windows of Twilight's house, breaking the Lavender Mare's gaze from her book. Oh, shoot, no, not Lavender Unicorn Syndrome! Repositioning herself in her seat, so her flank fell further onto the cushion. Twilight stretched in her hose over her head and smiled brightly. She had woken up quite some time before daybreak, unable to keep herself asleep for long. The day was meant to be a grand one. Twilight couldn't be happier. A week had passed since Spider-Man saved the village from the dragon, once again. But this time, in order to give the masked hero a proper show of gratitude, Mayor Mare decided to host a celebration in his honor. After everything that Pierre had gone through, both in his old home and in Equestria, Twilight felt like at least her friend deserved. Burning in anticipation washed over her being, despite the chill that traveled in the early morning air. "Sparkle! I am in need!" Trixie's voice echoed from upstairs, transforming Twilight's bright smile into an exasperated frown. It had also been a week since Trixie moved in. While her demands were simple, regarding food and shelter, it did not change the fact that Trixie came off as a spoiled brat, forcing every pony to cater to her every whim. Adjustments were made throughout the week, but the biggest change was Trixie being given Twilight's room, forcing every pony to move into the living room. Question! Question. What's the problem with having Twilight and Trixie be roommates? Why is Twilight being forced from her room? I see no reason for Trixie to be pushed out of her bedroom unless Trixie had some other plans regarding Twilight and her fine, sexy body. Trixie! Wouldn't be a tentative idea, but that's beside the point! Twilight let out a defiant sigh. All things considered, that situation could have been worse. Feeling obligated to help Pierre and make amends with Trixie, Twilight did what she could despite the amount of annoyance the latter generated. While the castle was not nearly as comfortable as her bed, it sufficed on the grounds of providing sleep for the busy mare. Spike's bed was moved downstairs as well, but Pierre willingly gave all rights to the couch, his previous sleeping spot, to Twilight, and chose to sleep in the library with only a blanket. Her lips curled into a smile. Even now, Pierre's selfish nature remained intact. Not wanting to irritate the waiting unicorn, which was easier said than done, Twilight trotted upstairs to her bedroom where Trixie rested. Once through the doorway, the blue unicorn lazily stirred, brushing her hose across her eyes as her silver blue mane, mangled from sleep, fell over her face. The chilly temperature had gone unnoticed to Trixie, thanks to the thick quilt wrapped comfortably around her body. She eventually spied the unicorn standing across her position, scoffing in response. "Certainly took you long enough." Her voice was condescending as ever. Placing her hoof over her mouth, Trixie feigned a few coughs. "My throat grows dry. Provide Trixie with a means to quench her thirst." She closed her eyes and waved Twilight off. "Post haste!" "Okay. Now Trixie's starting to feel a little insulted with this story." "Yeah, I mean, you're arrogant and egotistical, but this is kind of taking your personality too far." "Trixie knows. She is feeling insulted by this story." "All right." Twilight shrugged her shoulders, thinking the request was not as tedious as past others. Twilight turned and stopped by the door. "Trixie, I'll be leaving in a few to help finish with the preparations for the festival, so you'll be on your own for most of the day. Is that okay?" Trixie shook her head with a humorless smile on her lips. "All right, the Spider-Man Festival. Trixie forgot it was today." Stealing guns at a window, Trixie shielded her eyes from the sun's intruding light. "You're not required to ask for my permission regarding your personal business, so it's fine. I don't really care what you do," she said offhandedly, pausing to allow her confident grin to surface. "Perhaps Trixie will grace every pony with her presence as well." Twilight smiled. "Thanks, Trixie. Trixie turned her head away and huffed. "Don't." Her tone turned bitter. "We are not friends." Pulling her quilt over her head, Trixie held her face to Twilight's point of view. "I am still waiting for my drink." Breaking her gaze away from Trixie, Twilight shook her head with a sad look in her eyes. She had not expected Trixie to forgive her so soon. It was clear Twilight had helped to mend at least some of the bad history between them. As he made her way downstairs, Twilight noticed the door to the library had been left open, prompting the mayor to look inside. Easily Pierre would be found in the center of the room. Instead, all these blankets were left behind, folded in a neat stack. Well, Twilight paused, raising her brow. Where could he have gone at this hour? Well, if he's like me and knows that there are two hot, sexy mares in close proximity of each other, he's probably doing something I would be doing about my fantasies. And Tracy put down the staff. It was a joke. Rarity shook her head disapprovingly at the tattered costume on her table. Numerous tears giving to the signer an ulcer deep down. Her blue irises blankly stared at the stallion next to her, scratched at the back of his head sheepishly in response. To the extent of the damage done by the dragon. After all, dragons are colossal beasts. It appears safe to village from one twice. However, there have been not any signs of a dragon, or anything for that matter, since the incident had been rectified. You behemoth! What happened this time? Rarity pegged, lifting the costume from the table. Pierre closed his eyes and shrugged. Funny story, actually. It's almost as funny as the time I accidentally washed my whites with the costume. Man, everything was pink. Even my unmessables. But that's nothing compared to... Rarity's head fell over Pierre's mouth, ending his rambling tirade. Answer the question, darling. The stallion was silent for a moment, an amazing feat on its own merits. Well, Rainbow Dash wanted to spar last night. The thing is, I found I wasn't fighting a pony, but an angry bull. One thing led to another, and The rest of the sentence was dismissed to an incoherent mumbling. Taking the latter impossible to understand. Leaving her host, Rarity edged closer to Pierre. What? Don't you want to? Tell me! The images of last night were too clear to forget. In the midst of the sparring match, Pierre saw a strand of webbing to Rainbow's back, but he hesitated, not wanting to pull the mare down too roughly. That proved to be a fatal mistake on Pierre's part. Rainbow took to the sky at high speed, and Pierre deceitfully held onto his webbing, making his second crucial mistake of the evening. Determined to shake off her opponent, Rainbow threw through the forest, missing every tree in her path. Unfortunately, Pierre was not so lucky. Long story short, never riding with shotgun with Rainbow Dash again. Pierre grimaced, shaking his head for every tree he had encountered last night. Rarity, unimpressed with the tale, only exhaled. You buffy curvy Brutus, and inconsiderate. The centipedes yesterday. What could you have possibly been thinking? Scratching the back of his head, Pierre plainly stated, I wasn't. Indeed, you wasn't. Rarity pulled the costume from the table and gently tossed it over Pierre's face. However, the mare managed to smile, using her hoof to lift the spandex from her eyes. You're most fortunate I prepared for such a situation. Pierre raised his brow, unsure of what the mare meant by her statement. At the same moment, Rarity trotted across the room until she reached her cupboard. Opening the door, Rarity quickly found her target of interest resting on the bottom shelf, and used her magic to levitate into the air. As she closed the door with her back hoof, Rarity dropped the black box in the center of the bed. With a couple of clicks, the box flew open. Once Pierre joined the unicorn's side, he bore witness to a pair of fresh, not to mention new, pair of red and blue tights. You mean a spare? That's awesome! Pierre exclaimed, placing both his hose on Rarity's shoulders. Yes, she calmly replied, pushing his hose away. Her stern gaze locked on his hazel irises. Rarity placed the hoof against the Italian's chest. And I expect you to take care of this one! Shaking her head, she stole a quick glance at the shredded costume across the room, before setting her sights back on Pierre. At least until I repair the other, would you consider it, darling? Pierre nervously chuckled. I could try. No guarantees. Rarity mocked frown, poking her lips out at a pouting fasten. You'd have to look good for every pony, Peter. You can't accomplish that as a shredded mess. Her lips curled to a genuine smile. Rarity placed the costume around Stallion's neck, not giving Pierre an affectionate wink. Just get ready. Your public is waiting. Tossing the costume into his patented backpack, Pierre turned to make his leave, but stopped, taking a moment to wrap his hose around Rarity's neck. The mare lost her nerve, melting in the stallion's grasp, albeit swiftly. In his dense nature, Pierre relinquished his hold and trotted out of the room with a goofy grin on his face. This is totally new for me. I'm used to having a town hate me, but it's nice to be proven wrong every now and again. I'll try not to lay an egg. Pierre gestured with a wave before completely exiting Rarity's home. Rarity felt the temperature of her cheeks rise. She hated acting so flustered around any pony, and it seemed her conditions only worsened around Pierre as went by. The fact he was oblivious frustrated the mare to an extent. But she was grateful, fearful on what would happen if Pierre ever realized what he was doing. Rarity shook her head, pushing those false thoughts to a side. A matter for another day. The mare turned, but she looked around aimlessly, exhaling at a last realization. What's so odd, then? Several hours had passed. The sun perched on its highest point in the sky. The festival was underway. Ponies gathered in the middle of the village before a large stage, where a pony with a pale amber coat and also blue irises stood behind a podium. Banners and posters were placed all around Ponyville, each with a different illustration of Spider-Man on display. Some of them ponies practiced a similar trait, wearing various forms of merchandise in the hero's honor, from shirts to plastic masks. Pressing a strand of her bluish-gray mane behind her ear, the mare behind the pony giggled into the microphone and gestured a wave, massing across every pony's attention in the area. Greetings, everybody! I am Mary Mel, and I would like to officially welcome all to the Spider-Man Appreciation Festival. She enthusiastically cheered, clapping her hose together. The village's cheers echoed throughout the skies, reaching the ends of Whitetail Wood, and the accumulated applause sent tremors across the earth. The cheers only increased in volume when a new banner opened directly behind Mayor Mare, revealing a sketch of Spider-Man in mid-air pose. After a few moments, the mare raised her hoof, prompting every pony to slow her down. While shadows ran through the village air, Twilight and Rarity stepped from the front row underneath the stage, took their places beside Mayor Mare. As many of you are aware, our village has fallen prey to dragon attack. Not once, but twice, Mayor Mare sternly stated, pausing to face the bear behind her. However, the selfless act of a single pony saved our villagers on both occasions. Within the front row, Rainbow Dash heads over to Applejack, with a hoof over her mouth. So why isn't Princess Luna here again? She whispered, constantly not to attract the ears of others. Applejack shook her head. She ain't well a part of it. I can't really figure out why. Yeah! Before the conversation could continue, Mayor Mare stepped down from the podium, and Rarity rose to take her place, clearing her throat upon reaching the microphone. While today was too hot to wear a dress, and a t-shirt not being her idea for proper attire, Rarity sported a simple ribbon around her neck. Why is that unbelievably adorable? Its color and design were reminiscent of that of Spider-Man's costume, crimson and blue with a spider emblem in the center. Several ponies wore the same ribbon, including her friend sitting in the front row. Rarity smiled inwardly. She was happy her design was becoming quite popular. Many of you speculate whether Spider-Man really exists or not. I admit the idea of a pony strong enough to beat a fully grown dragon into submission is absurd. Unless you're a dragon lord. The Sire eyes closed their eyes briefly. However, for personal experience, I'm allowed to believe in the absurd. The emotions she felt for that night ignited in her chest. If not for him, I would have perished in my burning home. Her voice choked. Verity withheld her emotions, not wanting to lose her nerve in front of every pony. The night never left her memories, haunting her mind every so often. Everything came so close to ending. She would have lost her friends, Sweet Belle, and had a chance to live out her life to the fullest. Her life only continued because Pierre was there to save her. Rarity forced a lip down her throat, unable to do the same with the tears burrowing in her eyes. Read my words, Ponyville, she sniffled, allowing the curse to curl with a smile. Spider-Man is very real, and I'm eternally in his debt. The ponies among the first row smiled and corresponded to Rarity's words. But Derpy, having a seat next to Fluttershy, rose to her hooves. Instead of a ribbon, she instead wore a shirt with a heart next to Spidey's face. She cheered loudly for a moment, leaving others to follow suit. Applying with great interest, Rarity left the podium, allowing Twilight to take her place. Once Rainbow Dash pulled Derpy into her seat, the cheers diminished, leaving a smile to form on Twilight's face. Not really as much as known about Spider-Man, but he always seems to arrive when we need him most. Where he's gone or somewhere in Ponyville, let's tell him what we appreciate what he's done for us. Afterward, confetti fell for several party balls scattered through the village, flying from the sky like leaves lost in a drift. Every pony scared, preparing to enjoy the activities available. But some ponies screamed out, pointing to the sky. Swinging through the confetti, Spider-Man released his webbing and landed on top of the stage, appearing directly above Twilight's position. All eyes in the crowd spotted their hero. The cheers increased in volume. The applause heard could be easily mistaken for an earthquake. Spider-Man remained perched on the stage, like a hawk watching over the land. This is surreal. They actually like me here. Normally I find a bunch of ponies cheering me on weird, like wearing merchandise nonetheless, but this is really happening. They even have Spider-Man flags. He awkwardly waved to the crowd, specifically to matters gathered in the front row. A sense of war coursed through his body at the sight of Applejack, Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, and Rainbow Dash, sporting aspiring ribbons around their necks. However, Drippy caused a sheepish grin to form under his mask. The mayor's shirt was enough to win Peter over, but the small, stiff Spider-Man doll she held over her head pushed her into a world of blissfulness and madness. Dear dolls of me? Nothing says exception like action figures. This turns out to be a dream. God, that would be really low. It'd be even worse if I spontaneously combusted for no reason. Then I know you hated me for sure. In his trance, Spider-Man lately realized Twilight raising a hoof, mostly for him to come down. Shaking his head, the stallion flipped to the air, latched onto a strand of webbing from his previous position. Spider-Man descended slowly, albeit upside down. Oh, you're not about to rip off a certain scene from Spider-Man 3, are you? Stopping just above the ground, beside Rarity and behind Twilight. Mayor raced up to the stallion. Excitement evident in her movements, repeatedly caught their hose together. It's gonna like the I finally get to meet you. Mayor reached out, grasped herself with two of her own. On behalf of Ponyville, I'd love to thank you. Mayor's enthusiasm threatened to nearly strike Spider's hoof from his shoulder, sending vibrations through the webbing he held onto. As your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, I'm happy to lay the smackdown on my not-so-friendly neighbors. Twilight giggled, turning to face the crowd. Even more eccentric since the hero's arrival. Stepping to the side, she offered her place at the podium. Here's to the amazing Spider-Man. Do you have anything to add? Scratching the back of his head, Spidey ready to leap from his webbing. But the microphone magically levitated his position thanks to Twilight. Evident by her smile, normally quick with his words, Peter found that thousands of gazes unnerving. And feelings of trepidation only worsened due to the eerily quiet atmosphere, as the whole world hung by the edge of his words. This was a golden opportunity to start anew with society that didn't hate him. Peter was terrified to find a way to squander it, like everything remotely positive in his life. Spidey stammered aimlessly, unsure of what to say or how to deliver it. Fortunately, as it sensing Peter's resolve, Rarity's hoof fell on the side of his face, and what followed was a soft peck on the cheek. Thus the feeling of stallion from his frozen trance. The side of his face practically burned, sending a wave of warmth coursing through Peter's spirit. Spike's jaw dropped, clenching his claws with jealousy. Sending his gaze from Rarity to the one standing in front row, Spider-Man relinquished his webbing, finding a way to land squarely on his hose. For less than like a few seconds, every pony felt like an eternity to Peter. Ever since he arrived at Equestria, Peter found ways to gripe about the bad things, despite the overwhelming amount of good that came to exist. And it's been annoying the hell out of me! Gone was the bad press. Away were the supervillains, and bye-bye went the Amalgamers. And now he had a village that accepted and welcomed his supernatural powers. While problems still gathered, they were adamantly welcomed compared to dealing with Shocker and Electro shenanigans, even though Trixie made that argument debatable to an extent. However, in Equestria, he had something Earth or any world couldn't begin to replicate. Friends. Amazing ones, even. Applejack, Rarity, Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, and Twilight had something else no one else did. They knew Peter's darkest secrets, and instead of closing off their hearts, they accepted what stood before them, offering complete trust in turn. Applejack always remained honest, giving the truth even when it hurt to do so. Rarity continued to be generous, despite the number of costumes Peter found a way to destroy. Pinkie Pie always found a way to make him laugh, even the hardest of times. Rainbow Dash, despite her jealous behavior at points, never once lost sight of her loyalty to Peter. Though he didn't deserve it, Fluttershy's kindness remained steady, Mare landing a hoof more often than she would have. Then, of course, there was Twilight. Peter couldn't quite place his hoof on it, even if he had. It seemed too cliche to believe. Twilight was always seen to have felt what Peter had, whether it was joy or guilt, anger or sadness. Perhaps it was because the girl had a horrible knack for placing herself in others' positions too much, or something more divine. Peter wasn't certain, but a strong bond in which he could not deny had been created. Spider-Man may not have been responsible for many faults in his life, but right now, Peter had to thank his alter ego. Not for the superpowers, he would never have had a chance to form a new life with his friends as irreplaceable as these. He was done whining, oh thank God! For as long as he clinged to the past, Peter would not see what the future had in store. Right now, the future was bright. It was high time he enjoyed the ride. He forever followed Uncle Ben's words. Just now, Spider-Man, or rather Spider-Man, would use his power responsibility for the sake of his new home, Equestria. With a new swing of confidence, Spider-Man raised his hooves and valiantly stated to the microphone, Ponyville, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is here to stay. The moon rose, giving birth to a new night. The festival came to a close, and every pony returned home. Within Twilight's home, Pierre, no longer in costume, sat buried up to his neck with letters, each decorated with hearts and signs of approval. Applejack emptied another bag of letters into his pile, giggling at the sight of her friend's whining grin. So much fan mail! I never even got back home when there were death threats in the newspapers and bills. I think I'll faint. I just hope I don't get a paper cut, Pierre said, failing to organize the mess around him. Pinkie Pie rose from the pile and burst inches away from Pierre, giggling uncontrollably. You can build a house with all these letters! Better hope you don't because I have a big bad wolf come after you. You just blow it all down! As Pierre placed himself over his chest. Like you did my heart? Taking a seat across from the pile, Applejack removed the hat from her head, allowing her long blonde hair to fall across her shoulders. I don't think that's the last of them, Plate. That's enough mail to last a pony a lifetime. Tell me about it. It'll take a couple of days to get through Screwloose pile, let alone everything else. He pointed at a pile next to Twilight. He was busy organizing the letters by name. Pierre shrugged with a grin. Don't get me started on Derpy's collection.
Oh, yes, I'm so happy for you.
Fireside nodded, politely handing a letter to Twilight. Rarity entered the room with a small cup, levitating next to her head. After taking a small sip of the sweet contents inside, she placed the cup down on the nearest table.
You certainly deserve the attention, darling. Now everybody knows how amazing you are,
she said sweetly, earning a soft smile from Pierre. Rainbow scoffed, tossing an open letter over her shoulder.
I don't know about amazing. I kinda kicked his butt yesterday. My word, can you not respect some pony's privacy for even a moment?
Rarity stood slack-jawed, her brow twitching madly. Pierre raised himself away just slightly. It's okay, Rarity.
I could actually use some help reading these. So with that said,
Rainbow Dash said, snatching another letter from her pile, tore it open. She rolled her eyes.
Most of these say the same thing. Amazing this, amazing that.
Her eyes finally settled on the letter.
This was even from what?
Everybody turned for the Pegasus' outburst. Only spot Rainbow trembling from her spot, and crashing headfirst into the hard floor. Before any pony could check her condition, Rainbow looked up to her host, ignoring the knot protruding out of her mane. She sped over to Twilight, unknowingly knocking Pierre out of the pile, ran the letter directly in his face.
What am I looking for, Rainbow?
The unicorn murmured, the text too close for her eyes to see clearly. Rainbow pulled away, the shocked look having a bed in the mare's face. Throwing her hoof over her eyes, she eventually surrendered the letter over to Twilight.
Just read it!
Pierre, with his head on the ground, body drooped over Fireside, groaned, Don't tell me it's junk mail. Damn advertisers. Can't take a hit nobody wants their business.
Does he mean no, Pony?
Fireside weakly added, trying not to focus too deeply on the way her skin tingled from Dash's touch.
It's not junk mail, it's from...
Twilight's eyes widened and the same name as at the top of the letter.
Spitfire?
Spitfire?
Spitfire!
Everybody shifted their head in Twilight's direction, but Pierre remained undeterred, merely raising his brow. Who, what in hell? Rainbow Dash flew over. The wind blowing over Pierre's face and caught it on Pegasus.
Who's Spitfire? She's only the leader of the Wonderbolts. Do you live under a rock for something?
The stallion shrugged his shoulders. Well, I've only been in this world for 3 weeks now. Haven't done anything about the power loss. The monster incoming. Maybe his shoulders felt a lump. Oh, right. Fireside murmured, causing Pierre to shift his gaze to be Harris.
Wonderbolts are a group of aerial acrobats. Rainbow Dash is a fan.
Rolling from his side to the top to meet Pegasus, Pierre made his way to the Twilight. So, what does Spitfire want? Is he a fan too? Twilight's eyes scrolled through the lair, growing in width the further they traveled. After a few moments, the lavender mare shook her head.
Actually, no. Here, I'll read it out loud.
Hey, Spider-Man. I don't know if you're the type to watch the shows, but I'm Spitfire of the Wonderbolts. And before you ask, yes, this is the real me. I even left the official Wonderbolt insignia on the back of the letter to show this is legit. Anyway, I keep hearing tales about how awesome you are. They say you're strong. Heck, every pony says you're pretty fast, too. I'm not the type to join bandwagons. I lead them. So here's what I got up for you. If you're up to it, come to Manhattan and race me across the city. I'd love to get a ticket for the train. If you accept, come to Manhattan Palace. It's the hotel we're booking for now. I will cover the rest of your expenses when or if you show up. Or maybe I could believe the hype or put an end to it. Whatever. Hope to see you soon, Spitfire. Manhattan, are you kidding me? And here I thought I was being original with Spider-Man. Pierre dumbly muttered, astounded by the coincidence. Razor's hoof tapped against the floor, tail whipping to his side.
I can't believe it! Spitfire wants to race you! She should be challenging me! Yeah!
Pegasus raced to Pier.
You have to accept. She called you out.
The stallion scratched it over his head.
What's with you? You're flip-flopping harder than a seesaw.
Seeing his head, Pier only sighed. Besides, I don't have a point to prove to any pony.
I don't know, Sugar Cube.
Applejack irritated, trying to take it over. Once the wonderful insignia was spotted on the back, the blood brushed her hair behind her ear.
So he's talented on Fire and Square. Heck, so he's even paying for your trip.
Rarity pressed her hose against her cheeks and sighed blissfully.
And Manhattan, nonetheless. It's a wondrous city I've longed to visit, and I heard Manhattan Palace is quite divine. Lifestyle service is impossible to turn down, darling.
The increasing number of pushes made his protests more even difficult to stand by. Tossing his stallion raised his hose defensively.
Girls, seriously, I don't know if... I've never started partying in the sea, but it'd be lots of fun!
Piggy bounced in pace, causing a bead of sweat to fall along Pierre's chin. Hang on, every pony. Twilight looked at the ticket.
This ticket's more of a pass. It says up to 10 ponies can ride with it.
Pierre's air feel sound on news. Every pony's are eager pickiness.
Wait a second.
That same second, Pierre disappeared in a blur, having been tackled to the floor by Rainbow Dash. Hose planted firmly on his chest. The mare sternly stared him down.
You have to accept now!
First I reared her head over Pierre's pinned body, gaze falling to the side.
I've never been to Manhattan before,
she hesitantly stated.
So, are we still dealing with Pierce's power loss here?
Much to Pierce's dismay, all the mares in her home hovered over him. Dolores glanced his irises and looked on him intently. One girl's pleas were bad enough, but 6 were another form of torture. It developed on the planet Venus, one might say. If the choice was his alone, he would have declined the offer. However, it seemed more than his pride was at stake. Some wanted to accept the challenge, while others wanted to go on the trip. It was possible every pony wanted a combination of both choices. Girls were such iffy creatures. Twilight, sitting directly above Pierre, lowered her head until her snout nearly touched his own. So Pierre, what's your decision? Pierre scoffed. Didn't have much of a choice in the matter. However, the chance to go to a city seemed too good to turn down. And who he was to disappoint his friends. After all, he promised himself he'd start having fun when the opportunity arose. With his friends, he's the uniquest ones around him. Pierre knew it would be a thrill right through and through. Raising himself, Pierre smiled widely. Pack your bags, everybody. We're going to Manhattan!